Hey, what's up YouTube? Evan Starr here, and we're back with another preview. This time we're going to be looking at a game called Freeblades, and this game is put out by DGS Games. It came out last year, but only recently has it kind of surfaced locally in my LGS. So I thought I'd pick it up and have a look. We're going to look at the rulebook, and then we're going to do another unboxing, as we do with these previews. So first, let's have a look at the rulebook. First thing you notice, high quality rulebook, low price tag on this. I think this is only like in the $30 range, so that's pretty cheap. Especially when you look at how thick this rulebook is. There's quite a bit in here. The rulebook is 180 pages, so it's quite a big rulebook. And that was one of my concerns, to be honest, is I looked at this rulebook, and you know, down here it says it's a fantasy skirmish game, and it's 180 pages. But we'll explain why here in a minute. So anyway, nice high quality rulebook. It is not a hardcover, but that's okay. Once again, they were thinking about your economics, and so that's why this is probably why this is a soft cover. You can see nice layout here. Now, what's interesting, the first thing that comes to mind that you see when you open up the rulebook is actually the designers are talking directly to you. So they want you to know, hey, game companies are hard business, to be truly successful, yada yada yada. And then they start making promises to you. We're going to give you great customer service. We're going to answer your questions. We'd like to be able to just give you every model rulebook for free, but we can't. So they're talking directly to you when you open the book. That's pretty cool. And then it tells you how you can get involved in play testing. So these guys really want to make the point of, hey, we want to be connected to you, the gamer. And that's cool. You can tell that these guys are gamers themselves. And then it jumps straight into the world of Freeblades, which is Phalon. And you get, man, all of the factions. There's like an entire history here. They describe the gods. These guys were not messing around. They literally wanted to create a whole world, and they did, with a rich history. You can see all of these are all histories of all of the factions and the races in this world, Phalon. And it just goes on, and it goes on for about looks like the first 21 pages or so. Art is just fluff. Then it gets into the game basics, how to play the game. And I haven't tried this yet. I do have some concerns about the number of rules or the thickness of the rules. The game uses a tiered dice system, which is pretty cool. I do like tiered dice systems, and you might have seen it on stuff like Shoot and Skedaddle. There are some other games out there that use tiered dice systems. I like the tiered dice system, but the one thing that's kind of weird for this game is it's got some like fancier tiered dice. It's got like a D14, D16, D24, really oddball ones, and it's a little strange. I mean, yeah, but you know, they're really trying. They really take their time trying to work out the probability so that the game is operating properly. It is rules heavy, I won't lie. There are, for example, lots of different types of just movements, lots of different types of just shooting. The sequence of play, I'm a little concerned about, because it is, even though it is a I-go-you-go system, which I'm not a fan of, there are some interrupts. You can put models on delay, stuff like that. Honestly, I think it kind of still favors that first player. You're probably better off with an alternating activation system for this type of game. But hey, you know, haven't played it yet, so take that with a grain of salt. So there is a rather extensive portion here dedicated to rules. So let's see. We started at around page 20. Now we start getting into spells and all that stuff, and wow. Looks like about 80 pages of rules or so, because I'm about page 100 when you get to Freeblades. Now, here's the part of the rulebook which is pretty cool. You've got the fluff for the free bands and the 4 opening factions. You've got like get this on camera so you can see. You've got the sort of Robin Hood type bandit clan. You have the Haradalan, which are the kind of the Quester Knights. Then you have the kind of the Mongolian faction, and then you have the Trillion, which are like the Wood Elf style people. Now, my first impression of this game is that if you are a D&D Pathfinder Mordheim player, you are going to freaking love this game. The rules are fairly extensive and kind of meaty. This is a very deep game. This really isn't so much for the one-off, let's just play a quick game and be done with it. You really want to play this in leagues or campaigns. Because there is a heavy league campaign aspect to the game. There's even kind of a role play element to the game, and it is supposed to cross into an RPG game. So if you really are into like your D&D Pathfinder, and you like Mordheim and that kind of stuff, this is probably a very good game for you. My concern for me personally is I don't know how much of a deep game I can get into. If I get into this with my friends, we would probably need to commit to this a significant amount of time, maybe subsequent weeks of us playing. So anyway, this is a rule book, fairly extensive, and yeah, it's a heavy roleplay element, very rich, very diverse world. A little concerned about the clunkiness of the graphics, but I mean not the graphics, the mechanics. A little concerned about that, but otherwise, you know, it looks fairly interesting. And let's have a look at the models, right? Because I've talked enough about this. Okay, so we're going to look at 2 sets for Freeblades. This is the Trillion Seekers, or kind of the Wood Elf style set. And we're going to look at the Grular Invaders. And you guys know the drill. When we do unboxings here, we go straight to the painted miniatures. So, painted these up. A lot of fun. Well, first off, very good value for 32mm heroic style miniatures. Now, when I say heroic style miniatures, you're generally thinking somewhere in the area of $5 to $10 upwards dollars per model. These guys are coming in roughly at around $5 to $6 per model, so that's pretty good. They're on the low end. They're good quality miniatures. They are on 25 mil bases, about 32 millimeters in height. You can see this is the Trillion Warband. I've done them in sort of a autumn style, and just a lot of fun. High quality to the miniatures. There is a little bit of pinning involved, but it's nowhere near where a lot of these other companies are with their pinning and the fiddliness. There is a little bit of fiddly, but it's nowhere near, say, your Infinity or those types of models. They're just not as chunky as, say, Privateer models or anything like that. But very good sculpts, as you can see. Let's see if this camera can even... No, it's not really going to focus. That's a shame. But yeah, I had a lot of fun painting these up. It's been a long time since I've painted elves or elf-like fantasy style miniatures. So had a lot of fun. You know, it's kind of back to when I was painting these style of miniatures. Really cool, highly themed, and again, for the money, even if you aren't gonna play the Freeblade system, these are great miniatures for like D&D, Pathfinder, that kind of stuff. So there's the Trillion Warband in their sort of autumn glory. Oh, one thing I would point out though, it's kind of a shame. This is I guess their magic user for the crew, and she's supposed to have this little like green flame thing here, and mine did not show up in the package, so that was kind of a shame. That said though, these starter sets are very cheap, they're easy to put together, and like I said, they're very fun to paint. So now let's talk about the Grular Invaders. They're like a Mongolian style faction. Whoa, wow, I had it there for a second, man. This thing, it's just not gonna happen, is it? Try it. No, it's just not going to happen. I don't understand. So anyway, this is a Mongolian style faction, kind of like Mongolian / Dothraki style. And I've always wanted to paint Mongolian, you know, steppe nomad, warlike type of models. Now, in the book, they say that these guys have dark green skin, and I took some creative license and decided not to give them dark green skin because I wanted to paint some actual Mongolians because that was fun to me. So, so they do have like kind of a coppery Mongolian style skin to them, and I paint, instead of the purples, I went with darker, earthier colors because, again, I wanted mine to look more like traditional Mongolians, and I don't think they would have a problem with that. But as you can see, very fun. You get 6 models to a starter. This one comes with actually a mounted model, which is cool, and didn't even cost more than the Trillion set. I'm not sure how the DGS kind of works that out, but they roughly want you to spend about $32 on a starter set, and you've got enough here. Apparently, it's a 150 point Freeblades or Freeband that you can start adventuring with, and so it's a very cheap buy-in. So you figure, you know, it's like 32 a piece for these models. And so you get a starter set for 32. The book is 32. So you figure you and a friend could go in for 2 starters and a rule book, and you'd be out about $50 a piece. That's about the going rate, if not lower than most other games out in the market today. And you are playing a skirmish-sized game, so you know your add-ons are not going to be ridiculous. You know, 2,000 point army or anything like that. So this part of Freeblades, the miniatures, they're a lot of fun. I highly recommend picking them up. They're good value. So this part I'm good with. If you want to play narrative fantasy, I think that the system should be fine. Can't wait to actually try it on the tabletop because I think it will be fun. But we'll find out. We'll find out as I get hopefully get some of my guys to try it out with me. So that's Freeblades. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know yet because we haven't played it yet. But anyways, just wanted to give you guys a preview, and sorry this took so long, but thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.